Hello and welcome to another Warcraft III audio commentary slash shoutcast slash my coverage of IEF 2012. Today we're going to be watching Lucifer spawning as the red undead in the upper right corner versus TED spawning as the yellow undead in the lower left corner. Yes, indeed, we are going to be watching the legendary Lucifer versus the thrifty TED. The thrifty TED. Look. We're watching these two amazing undead players, possibly the best undead players in a long time, you know, really, undead giants, whatever you want to call them. They are amazing players. We're going to be watching them play off in a best of 3 for IEF 2012. What a great way to start the day. Yeah, I'm excited about this. So let's go ahead and see. We're going to look and see TED with a Lich first, and Lucifer with the Death Knight first. We do have Lucifer coming in here with an early Acolyte Scout doing... looks like both players doing about the same kind of build. Not exactly though. It looks like Lucifer might be going for some sort of a fiend build. As you can see, he does not have a second Ziggurat just yet, while TED does have a second Ziggurat, and that does indicate that TED will want to do lots of ghouls. Wow, I just said ghouls in an interesting way. Yes, and there's the graveyard the graveyard for Lucifer, which means, of course, fiends. So this will be interesting to see, of course, that DK fiends versus Lich ghouls, fairly common, and Lucifer does need to find out whether this is a Lich or a Death Knight, and he does find out, it is a Lich. He sees that now, and he is going to go ahead and lose his Acolyte, of course. That's unfortunate for him, but down it goes. Not a big deal, really. Now, there are a couple different ways you can play against this. I think the most common way is to try to harass the Lich. A lot of times we'll see the Lich creeping to level 3 if he's against a Death Knight first. And the reason for this is because the Lich at level 3 versus a Lich at level 1, it doesn't really matter if you have a level 5 DK and a level 3 DK. The DK at level 5 isn't nearly as powerful as the Lich. I'm not sure I'm saying level 5, I mean level 3 and level 1. Because, okay, I am not making a lot of sense. Let me go ahead and repeat what I just said in a more clarified manner. A Lich at level 3, let's say that TED gets Lich DK, right? A fairly common build. Okay, and he goes Lich, and he creeps his Lich to level 3, and his Death Knight's level 1. And TED does the same thing, except he does it in reverse order. He goes Death Knight and then Lich. And the Death Knight tried to coil that still. I'm just going to tell you, the Death Knight did try to coil still that creep, and he didn't manage to. So good job by TED to go ahead and stop that from happening. We do see, of course, this harass going on. A little bit of focus fire on that Death Knight. But to get back to what I was saying, if say that TED has the Lich level 3 and the Death Knight level 1, and Lucifer has the Death Knight level 3 and the Lich level 1, then TED's going to have the big advantage in any kind of fight they take, because the level 3 Liches, of course, is what I'm saying, way more powerful than the level 1 Lich, and the Lich is really the cornerstone of undead fights. Now, it looks like Lucifer was absolutely able to steal that creep right there with a coil. Nicely done. And we are seeing, it looks like, a bit of harass actually going off on these peasants over here from Lucifer onto TED's Acolytes. I'm not sure why I said peasants. And we're going to have to see TED actually rebuilding some of those. Actually, I think he only lost one. It looks like he lost one. There was a skeletal corpse thingy right there where one of those Acolytes once were. And now we can also see Lucifer getting the tech advantage. As you can see, is about half of his tech way through, a little bit over that, and TED over here just now beginning his tech. We're going to see it looks like a Nubian Tower is already up for Lucifer's base, and he does have now one fiend out. And as you can see, he's absolutely trying to harass TED from creeping. And on top of everything else that I just said, there's also the good point of that you have to keep in mind that Lich Ghouls is going to creep much faster than a very slow TED Fiends build, which is actually a little bit funny. Lucifer, I don't think is doing TED Fiends build here. He may have actually done TED Fiends. I'm not really sure. Actually, I think he did. I think he did do TED Fiends build versus TED, which is kind of funny. But you know, it's kind of funny. I'm sorry. Don't. I don't know what I'm saying, but look, it's kind of early in the morning. I got up early because I'm moving away for the next week or so because of the holidays, and so I was like, I'm gonna get up early because I didn't have time to do the cast a couple of days ago, or the past 2 days, or one day. I'm not sure how long it's been. So I got up early. I got up like super early, and so I'm probably not making a lot of sense because of that, and I'm sorry. It's life. But this is really exciting. This is exciting. I logged on today and I saw that these replays were up, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch them. I'm sorry. So keep saying sorry. We do see now that the Lich has a Boots of Speed, and he did go ahead and do some damage to that Death Knight. Now, once there are 4 fiends on this map, these ghouls are going to have a much harder time actually dealing with this army. 3 fiends is actually enough to really start causing a lot of damage and picking units off as he runs away if he wants to do that. And we might see him do so, and we might see him wait to do so. That is a level 2 Lich, and it does have Boots of Speed. Of course, with the Boots of Speed, it can chase down units, but of course, the Death Knight does have a lot of mana, almost full mana for coils. He's only like 10 mana shy. At this point, he's down to like 5 mana shy of being full mana. And with this fight going on right now, and just seeing these units, basically both players, 1, vying for positioning, and 2, trying to steal experience from each other's whenever they can, whenever possible. As you can see, this Death Knight now being forced out of this fight. Nice micro by this Lich, but more importantly, you can also see that the Lich is now about to hit level 3, and it's really cool that he was creeping while chasing this army around. As you can see, one of the powerful things of having a Lich Ghoul army is that you do have a much bigger army than your opponent will if they're going DK Fiends, this kind of late Fiends build. We do not see that Lucifer's Lich is on the way. He is still tier 2. He's taking a long tier 2, getting a Slaughterhouse up. Down goes his Death Knight. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but that is a level 3 Lich. That's going to be scary. Will we see a Lich, a Nova from Ted, Lucifer onto Ted's Lich? No, we won't. Oh, probably not. That would, of course, kill the Lich because it would do, 100 damage or so. Actually, I think it's like 70 damage, but it would have killed him, and he should be safe now from that. But either way, he's way out of the range, so it doesn't really matter. And we're going to see Lucifer now creeping up, and he is going to try to get this Lich right here as high as level as possible. He does go ahead and pick up Sentry Wards. Sentry Wards are, of course, very nice items to have. And we do now see Ted's Lich at level 3. Going to try to control the map a little bit if he can. Lucifer can see this, of course, because he has the Sentry Ward. He sees that he's right there. He's going to go ahead and try to pull these creep camp out. Let's see down here. We're going to see just a little bit of scouting going on down here, a little bit of harassing. We do see that Black Citadel about halfway done for Ted. And if we look over here, we're going to see just now Lucifer starting to take that Black Citadel research. You see the Death Knight is back out. And we're going to see Ted just trying to harass a little bit here with his Lich, a very powerful Lich indeed. So yeah, and now we're going to go ahead and see, it looks like Lucifer going to take a safe creep, trying to keep his Lich out of range, I guess you could say. Knows that Lich will kill this Death Knight if he tries to fight him, so he backs off. He doesn't really want to get a low on this Death Knight. He doesn't really need to, and that Lich would really kind of benefit more from that little kind of a skirmish if he can kind of, because of course the Lich is going to be able to kind of stay on the sidelines here and basically just come in and just be annoying right now. And here comes that Death Knight to coil for Ted. So this is the situation I was referring to, almost actually, not quite, because Lucifer is quite low on XP right now. Of course, he does have the ability to creep faster, I think, at this point, probably, because I'm not sure if that's true or not. So I don't know. I would assume he does, but who knows. There was, I think, a steal right there. I'm not really sure exactly what happened. I had one of the heroes selected, so you could probably figure it out. And I hate doing that, but yeah, just if I didn't see it, then I didn't see it. I was too busy thinking of other stuff. Now we do see maybe one of these fiends taking some damage. Not going to go down. There is enough mana for a Nova from Ted. Let's see, how is Lucifer's Lich doing? Lucifer's Lich is level 2, about 25% of the way into it. Not really a lot, but he needs to get level 3 on that Lich, and he knows it. So he knows, even though that Ted's Lich is around here and his Death Knight is around here, he doesn't really want to do too much to try to focus that down. He knows creeping is really the primal important thing right now, and he knows that all Ted wants to do is stop him. We can see Ted trying to get some steals off for experience here. He knows getting that if Lucifer gets his Lich to level 3, that Ted will be behind, because of course in the late game, at equal levels, fiends are going to do a little bit better against ghouls when it comes to like when there's a Lich on the field, just because a Lich really can do a lot of damage to ghouls. Absolutely. Of course, ghouls can do, I mean, these are frenzy ghouls right now, as you can see, as you can tell very easily, frenzy ghouls, and looks like dual crypt at Black Citadel. So if you get the right positioning with the ghouls, you can absolutely murder the fiends very, very quickly. But the problem is getting that positioning, and when you have a high-level Lich, when you're against a high-level Lich, getting that positioning can be very difficult, because those Frost Novas are going to do a lot. Now we're going to go ahead and see this fight. Looks like a fight going to come underway right now, and it can go right off the bat. Seeing that Frost Nova on all those ghouls. And as you can see, Frost Nova hits more ghouls than it hits fiends. As you can see, only 3 fiends got hit by that, while most of those ghouls are getting hit by the Frost Nova. Of course, we do see 2 fiends on the way down. How many ghouls have died? It's kind of hard to say. They are dropping like flies here. And who's going to win this fight? I don't know. There are some fiends that are in illusion form, and that's definitely going to force Ted to run away. He does look like it looks like he's fighting more than what's actually there. And he might be concerned that he might be thinking Lucifer has broken upkeep at this point. It might look like it. I don't know if he has, but he has not. It definitely does look like it, but he has not. And we're going to see Gargs coming out for Ted, which is odd. Very odd. Does he have a sacrificial pit? He does. He's making a shade. Wants to go ahead and get that. I'm going to go ahead and see Lucifer throwing those illusions over here at Ted. So Ted now can probably rest assured saying, well, he's probably not actually at breaking upkeep just yet, but he might be doing so soon, because he certainly was very close. And here we do see a Ziggurat going up that will allow him to break upkeep should he want to. At 60 food, he probably won't see that happen, but because normally you probably want to be at least 70 food before you break upkeep. It helps you bank a little bit, and it's just nice. Now over here we're going to see Slaughterhouse on the way out for Ted at 40 out of 50 food. Gargoyles with ghouls, pretty powerful army, pretty powerful. This army right here also pretty powerful though, so we're going to see a fight going underway. We're going to see immediately one of these ghouls taking, one of these fiends taking some focus fire and get coiled, and actually going to live for quite some time. Not really too concerned about that, and then we're going to see this fiend taking some damage. That fiend is going to go down. Ted going to go ahead and lose another ghoul, and with this Dark Ranger here, of course, Lucifer really does have the advantage in these fights. The Dark Ranger really providing a silence, or providing, I think he's providing the skeletal minions, so he's providing Dark Arrow, which really does do a lot, big number to ghouls, because it's kind of like, here, your army now is my army. That's a pretty big thing you have to deal with. There's that shade now. I'm going to go ahead and scout out Ted's army. Does he have that sentry ward? Yes, indeed. So if he places the sentry ward at some point while the shade is actually near his army, he will kill that shade, and it will probably Ted will have to wonder, did he actually get a shade out himself? Or did he just place a sentry ward? Because it's, unless he's looking. So here we're going to see, yeah, there it goes. I think just like that, there's my snapping was terrible the first try. Yeah, you can see just how fast that shade went down. So unless Ted was specifically looking, he wouldn't have any clue what killed it. You know, for example, if it was another shade or if it was that sentry ward, he probably would assume it's a sentry ward because he knew that Lucifer had the sentry ward. So I'm guessing. But at any rate, we're going to go ahead and see Lucifer. What an item! Picking up a Cloak of Flames from this red golem creep. Cloak of Flames, absolutely perfect for dealing with ghoul-based armies. However, it looks like, yeah, no, I take that back. Ted's still doing the ghoul-based army. Ghouls and gargoyles. Getting a destroyer form researched. Yes, indeed, gonna go for the destroyers. Destroyers are, of course, very powerful, especially against Dark Ranger builds that utilize the skeletal minions. Also, silence. I mean, destroyers are very important, but it definitely looks to me like Ted's going to be at the disadvantage in this fight. We can see Lucifer at 56 food versus out of 60, and Ted over here at 40 food. So he's gonna have some issues. He's definitely outnumbered here. Oops, I thought I had this on observer. My bad. There we go. Yeah, he's definitely outnumbered in this fight. And he's level 4 on that Lich. Doesn't really matter as long as there's level 3 on Lucifer's Lich. Yeah, about the same. I mean, the difference between, it's the Frost Nova level that really matters on your Liches. And as long as those are the same, you're about on even ground. And as you can see, this Lich is Lucifer's Lich about to hit level 4. But now we're going to see this fight going underway. We're going to see one of those fiends immediately taking a lot of damage on the front line. Going to get a coil and perhaps no. Going to try to back off. No. Going to lose that Lich, but he did kill almost the entire ghoul army right there. That was attacking it for that Lich. For that ghoul. And now we're going to see lots of webs going off right now. And again, we do see, it looks like, it's kind of hard to tell, but Lucifer is just doing really good in this fight, as you can tell. Really just from the number of units that are webbed, and actually you can see that number is decreasing. You go ahead and see Lucifer switching to Ted's Lich. The Lich goes down, and now Ted's army is pretty much just screwed over at this point. As you can see, he's going to go ahead and call good game, and there it is. Good game. Nicely done by Lucifer. He hit when he had the advantage in food count, and that definitely matters, because if you let a Ghoul Guard army get to a rampant level, getting the positioning against that army becomes nearly impossible. And so it definitely helps to be out food and counting your opponent by about 20 food or so and an extra hero. So that's definitely nice, and that was game 1. Again, this is IF 2012. If you'd like to watch game 2, just click right about here, and I will hopefully see you guys there. And yeah, hopefully you'll excuse my kind of fritzy casting. I'm sorry about that. Again, a little bit early. I'm going to hopefully be a bit more awake for the next one. So yeah, I'll see you guys there. Game 2.